All right, everyone, welcome back. Time for another deep dive. Today, we're jumping into Genesis chapter 18.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Buckle up, because we're talking unexpected visitors, divine promises, and, well, you'll just have to wait and see.
It's a wild ride.
It really is.
Yeah.
So picture this. Abraham and Sarah hanging out by their tents when suddenly 3 mysterious dudes just appear.
No warning, no text message, no smoke signals, just poof, there they are.
Exactly. Now, we're not talking about a casual, hey, what's up kind of visit, right?
Oh, no. This is ancient Near East hospitality we're talking about. Totally different ballgame.
Like a really big deal.
Huge. Think about it. Back then, welcoming strangers, especially in the middle of nowhere, could literally be a life or death situation.
Wow. Okay, so the stakes are high.
You bet. So when Abraham sees these guys, he jumps into action, rolls out the red carpet, desert style.
Let me guess. Dates, camel milk, the usual.
Oh, we're talking next level.
Yeah.
Fresh bread, a whole calf, the works. Like 5-star treatment in the wilderness.
Wow. All right. Abraham going above and beyond here. But, and I know this is Genesis, so things are rarely low-key, but this is where it gets really interesting.
Here we go.
These visitors, and let's be real, they're not just your average house guests. They drop a bombshell. Sarah's going to have a baby.
A little late for that, don't you think?
Just a tad. Remember, let's just say she's way past the baby shower age.
To put it mildly. And to make things even more interesting, they're hanging out near the terebinth trees of Mamre.
Okay, and for those of us who didn't grow up studying the terebinth trees of Mamre.
Right, well, back then, people saw these trees as something special, almost sacred, like a direct connection to the divine,
So not exactly your average picnic spot.
Not at all. And imagine hearing this baby news in a place like that. It just adds this whole other layer to Sarah's reaction, which, let's be honest, is pretty relatable.
She's not exactly thrilled about the idea.
She laughs. I mean, wouldn't you?
I mean, yeah, probably. It's like, come on, seriously, at this point. But it's not just about the whole age thing, is it? There's more to it, right?
Definitely. I mean, think about it. Is it disbelief, joy, fear? It's a bit of everything, isn't it? Like a feeling that's almost too big to express, This overwhelming sense of awe and wonder, because for them, a baby at their age wasn't just unlikely. It went against everything they thought they knew about, how things work.
So it's about faith and doubt all tangled up.
Exactly. It's that very human experience. Even after all these years, we still wrestle with the same things, right? That tension between what we think is possible and what might be, if we can just bring ourselves to believe.
So we've got Abraham laying out this incredible spread, 5-star service in the desert. You'd think that's the most shocking part of the story, but, well, this is Genesis, right?
It's a twist.
Always a twist. So they're finishing up, maybe polishing off some dessert, and bam, the conversation takes a hard left. We're talking about the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Talk about a mood swing. 1 minute it's baby showers and celebrations. The next it's, fire and brimstone. Makes you think, right?
It really does. What's the connection? Why tell these two stories together? Like, is it just to mess with readers thousands of years later?
I mean, it's always possible. But there's something important here about who God chooses to tell this to. He singles out Abraham. He doesn't have to. But he shares this huge, heavy news.
So it's like more than just gossip. It's about their relationship.
Think about it. God promised Abraham that his family, his descendants, they're going to be this massive force for good, a blessing on the world. But that comes with, responsibilities.
Right, like cosmic community service.
Exactly. So by revealing what's going on with Sodom and Gomorrah, it's almost like God saying, look, this is what happens when things go wrong, when wickedness takes over. Your job, Abraham, is to make sure your people, your family, they choose a different path.
And that's where the whole, Abraham negotiating with God thing comes in, right?
Oh, yeah. And it's audacious, to say the least. I mean, here's Abraham, just a dude standing before, the Almighty and arguing about the fate of entire cities.
It's kind of ballsy when you say it like that.
It really is. But it also tells us something crucial about their relationship. It's not just a one-way street with God calling all the shots. There's this dialogue happening, a back and forth, and that's huge.
So what you're saying is there's room for, I don't know, debate, even with God.
It makes you think, right. And then there's the whole bargaining strategy. He starts at 50 righteous people, then 45, then 40.
Yes.
It's like he's pushing it, testing the limits.
And God doesn't just shut him down right away.
Not at all.
Yeah.
God actually engages with him, lets him make his case. And again, that says so much about the kind of relationship they had. So it's not just about what happens to those cities. It's about what it means to pray, to intercede, to maybe even argue with the divine.
It's kind of wild, right? I mean, this story is what, thousands of years old?
Yeah.
And we're still here talking about it, arguing about it, trying to figure out what it all means.
That's the thing about these stories, these narratives, they stick with us, you know? They resonate across time, across cultures, because they're tapping into something deep in the human experience.
Yeah, no, I get that. And this story in particular, it's got everything. It's like hospitality, family drama, the fate of nations, and it's all like tangled up with these huge questions about like good and evil, justice, mercy, the whole shebang.
It's like a whole season of a TV show crammed into a couple of pages.
Right. Okay, but unlike a TV show, we don't get a nice, neat ending.
Not even close. We're left with these questions that have been debated for centuries.
Like, would we do the same thing if we were standing in Abraham's sandals? Would we have, like, haggled with God, tried to bargain for these cities?
That's a question each of us has to wrestle with, right?
Yeah.
But for me, the real heart of this story isn't just about what Abraham did or didn't do. It's about recognizing that we're not just passive observers in this whole human drama. We have a voice, we have a say, and we have a responsibility to use them.
So it's not just some ancient history lesson. It's about, like, right now.
Exactly. Think about it. How are we showing hospitality to the strangers around us, to people who are different from us? Are we willing to, like Abraham, stand up for what's right, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable?
So bargain with the higher powers, so to speak.
Right. And that's what makes this story so powerful, so relevant, even after all these years. It challenges us to think about the impact of our choices, our actions, even our words, because they matter. They ripple outward, shaping the world around us.
It's a lot to think about.
It really is, but it's also incredibly hopeful, don't you think? Knowing that we have that kind of agency, that power to make a difference, that's something worth reflecting on.
I think you're right. This whole story, it's a powerful reminder that we're not just along for the ride. We're writing the story, each and every one of us, every single day. So yeah, maybe a little something to think about this week. And that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Until next time.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Toby, Eleanor, and our team of researchers are working hard to produce more episodes. If you value what we're doing here, please consider subscribing and sharing the word. Additionally, our podcast, RSS, and Patreon links can be found below. Listener support is what makes our work possible. Join us next time for another deep dive. God bless.